Hi there, welcome to my channel once again. This is to be a short video, just some notes for you to take on spell casting and the writing of invocations, incantations, things in writing that you would use for your ritual use. The first thing I want to say is that it's always been part of my practice when writing spells or incantations or invocations, that they always rhyme. I've always just kind of accepted that this was a part of doing magic, and it was the way I was taught. So it's always been in my in my way of doing things, and I definitely recommend it to others to use the same rhyme scheme. Keep a rhyme. It has to do with the flow and momentum of the writing. That's all I can say. The rest is up to you, how you say it when you're actually doing the spell or the invocation or incantation. You put your own natural flow into the words. You become the words. You become the concept that is being born of the words. That's what you're doing when you write these things for spell casting or anything else. Obviously, I could give you examples, but again, when it comes right down to it, in the actual working, it's you. It's up to you, the magician, to write things out. Write things in a format that is easy for you to understand and for you to develop and grasp. It's always best to do it that way. There are a lot of authors out there, really wonderful authors, who write a lot of stuff about spell work and such, and it's all wonderful, but they're really just guides, because you really shouldn't, and this is just my humble opinion, of course, I don't think it's really a good idea to get too used to taking those spells literal as they are written in those books and try to use them that way. I think it's better if you take them and kind of weave your own little magic into those words, maybe even change some of the words, obviously keeping the concept the same, keep that fluid throughout, but really, again, just use it as a blueprint for your own imagination to go by, and from there you can do whatever is necessary for spells, incantations, invocations. Also, another thing to be aware of when you're doing these things is moon cycles. A lot of people are already well aware of that, but to you who are new and watching this, you might want to get for yourself a farmer's almanac, an old farmer's almanac. They're about $6 at any convenience store here where I am. But pay attention to the cycles. Know what spell work you're doing is right for what type of moon is in effect at that moment. Is it going to fit what you're doing? If you're going to be doing spell casting to draw things to you, maybe you want to draw a job to you, you would work on the waxing of the moon when it's waxing and building its way up to fullness. Thereby you're drawing it, you're symbolically drawing your desire to you. Now in reverse, the same would be true as if you're trying to push some negativity away from you, or trying to push anything out of your life that you don't want in there. Then you work on the dark side of the moon, because as the moon's waning and it's going away, that's symbolic of things going away from you, and that's always a good idea to do it that way. And again, that's been my training and expertise on that. Beyond that, though, as I said, it's really your imagination that is going to really make this work. It's all about you when you're writing that spell. It's nobody else, but it's about you and what your goal is. What do you want to achieve? Now, I know that you probably have sat there literally a half dozen times or more looking at a sheet of paper wanting to do this, and you just come up with a blank, like, oh no, what do I write? I know it's difficult. It can be difficult, and for some people it could be downright impossible. Fortunately, I guess I have a flair for writing poetry and stuff, because I can write things in rhyme fairly easy, and I have I can bring this stuff out. But I'm sure there's others out there who can do that, and it would be also natural for them and easy for them to pick up. But yeah, just total imagination. What can you envision in your imagination for your goal to come true? That's what you want to keep in the forefront when you're making these spells and rituals. Envision it right there in the forefront of your imagination as you're building it up, as you're making all the preparations for it. And you want to keep that vision right there in your in your frontal lobe, if you will, of your head there, right? Just keep it right there, and do everything that you need to do. When you're writing this stuff out, when you're writing it, again, just feel it. Feel your intent. Feel your goal. What is it about the goal that you... What is your perfect picture of how that goal is going to come out? Describe it. Write it down. Write it in rhyme. How you want this to turn out. How you really expect it to look when it's done. Whatever goal it is. Just outright describe it and write it in rhyme. You know. And there's really not much more I can say on that. You know. But again, I can't really tell you how to do a spell beyond what I've said in this video, because it's a personal thing when you're writing spells for any witch. It's a very personal thing, these spells, and sure, you know, if you want to let other witches look at them and compare to their spells and stuff like that, sure, that might be something you might want to do, or you keep it to yourself. But again, it is entirely personal when you're making these up, because the intent and the focus comes from you. Another thing that just has occurred to me, if you're working with a group of people, and maybe you all have one goal in mind, okay? One person's going to write the spell for the whole group, this one goal you want to do. Everybody can just throw in their own, you know, own little lines of what should go into it, you know, piece by piece, bit by bit. And when you have a group like that, again, it brought more power to the spell, especially when it's, you know, one common good, you know, and it's not like, you know, personal spell for one person, but you're doing a group thing at that point. But again, as far as the individual spell goes, it is entirely personal, and you know, no one person is gonna come up with a spell that's going to work for another person, you know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think the person who comes up with it would work the best. Maybe it would work for other people, but he who wrote it is the best judge of it. That's what I like to say. But at any rate, those are my notes on spell casting and spell writing, incantations and such. And I do hope that it's been helpful for you. Leave your comments as always, and I will address them as I can. And until my next video, blessed be and merry part. May the four winds be with you.